Have you ever wondered how to communicate with your cat effectively? Well, you're not alone. Cats may seem mysterious and aloof, but they actually have a language of their own, and understanding it is the first step to effective communication. Cats, unlike humans, primarily use body language to express their feelings. A cat's tail, for instance, is a barometer of its emotional state. A high straight tail indicates happiness, while a tucked tail suggests fear. Similarly, a cat's eyes can reveal much about its mood. Dilated pupils may indicate excitement or fear, while slow blinking is a sign of trust and affection. But it's not just body language. Cats also communicate vocally, with a wide range of meows, purrs, hisses, and growls. Each sound has its own meaning, and deciphering these sounds requires careful listening and observation. For example, a long, drawn-out meow may signal a demand for attention, while a hiss is a clear warning to back off. Cats also use scent marking to communicate. They have scent glands in their cheeks, paws, and other areas, and by rubbing these against objects or people, they're leaving their scent behind as a form of communication. This could be a way of marking territory, or it could be a sign of affection. Understanding these signals is crucial if you want to communicate effectively with your cat. It's all about observing their behavior, listening to their vocalizations, and being aware of their scent marking habits. It's about putting yourself in their paws, so to speak, and seeing the world from their perspective. By understanding these signals, we can start to communicate effectively with our feline friends. It's a fascinating journey into the mind of a cat, and it opens up a whole new level of interaction and bonding. So the next time your cat meows at you or rubs against your leg, take a moment to understand what they're trying to say. You might be surprised by how much they're actually communicating. Now that we understand cat behavior, how can we discourage unwanted behaviors? In the world of feline training, it's critical to remember that cats are not like humans. They don't associate actions with moral values like right or wrong. Instead, they associate actions with consequences. A cat doesn't understand that scratching your favorite chair is bad. What they understand is that if they scratch the chair, they might get sprayed with water, for instance. So, they learn to associate the act of scratching the chair with an unpleasant consequence. This brings us to a key aspect of discouraging unwanted behaviors: consistency. Just like humans, cats learn through repetition. If one day you let your cat scratch the chair without any consequence, and the next day you spray them with water, they'll get confused. Consistency is what helps them make a clear association between an action and its consequence. So, if you want your cat to stop a certain behavior, you need to be consistent in your response. Now you might be thinking, should I punish my cat for their unwanted behavior? Well, not exactly. Instead of punishing your cat, focus on positive reinforcement. Cats respond better to rewards than to punishments. For example, if your cat has a habit of scratching your furniture, get them a scratching post. Every time they use the post instead of your furniture, reward them with a treat or a cuddle. This way, they'll start associating the use of the scratching post with something positive, and they'll be more likely to use it in the future. And remember, just like us, each cat is unique. What works for one might not work for another. It's all about experimenting and finding what your cat responds to best. Patience is key here. It might take a little while for your cat to break their unwanted habits, but with consistent reinforcement of the right behaviors, they'll get there. Consistency and positive reinforcement are essential in teaching your cat to avoid unwanted behaviors. So keep these principles in mind, and you'll be well on your way to a harmonious coexistence with your feline friend. What if we could prevent unwanted behaviors before they even happen? And that, dear listeners, is where the art of distraction comes into play. Distraction in this context is not about diverting attention away from a misdeed. Instead, it's about engaging your feline friend in such a way that the thought of indulging in disruptive behavior doesn't even cross their mind. It's a preventative measure, a way of nipping potential problems in the bud. Imagine, if you will, a cat who's just discovered the joy of clawing at your brand new couch. Now, instead of scolding or punishing, what if you introduced a vibrant, enticing cat toy that provides an even better scratching experience? The couch suddenly becomes less interesting compared to this new, exciting object. And just like that, the problem is solved without a single hiss or growl. This is the power of distraction. It's a way to redirect your cat's energy towards something constructive and enjoyable. It's about understanding that, at their core, cats are hunters. They need to stalk, pounce, and play. If these needs aren't met, they'll find other ways to satisfy them, often leading to those unwanted behaviors we're trying to avoid. And this is where mental stimulation comes in. A bored cat is a mischievous cat. By providing engaging toys, puzzles, and activities, we can keep our cats' minds sharp and their attention focused on appropriate outlets. Think of it as a form of feline enrichment, a way to keep their minds busy and their claws away from your furniture. So the next time you find your cat up to no good, remember the art of distraction. A well-timed toy or an enticing game could be all it takes to prevent that unwanted behavior from even starting. By keeping our cats entertained and mentally stimulated, we can prevent many unwanted behaviors before they even start. And in doing so, we create a happier, more harmonious environment for both ourselves and our beloved feline friends. But what happens when our feline friend continues to engage in unwanted behaviors? Well, this is where patience and understanding come into play. You see, cats are not humans. They don't speak our language, and they don't understand our rules. They operate based on their instincts and their own set of social behaviors, which are often very different from ours. Let's think about how we humans learn. We are taught right from wrong, we understand consequences, and we have the ability to reason. However, cats don't have this same capability. They can't comprehend why the couch isn't the best scratching post, or why the kitchen counter isn't an ideal napping spot. So, when your cat continues to engage in behavior that you find undesirable, it's important to remember that they aren't doing it to spite you or because they're stubborn. They're doing it because it's natural for them. This is where patience comes in. It's easy to get frustrated when your cat isn't getting it. But remember, they're not doing anything wrong in their eyes. They're just being cats. It takes time for them to unlearn behaviors, especially if those behaviors are instinctual or have been allowed in the past. So, when you're discouraged because your cat is still scratching the furniture or jumping on the counters, take a deep breath. Remember, it's not personal. They're not trying to upset you. They're just being a cat. Next, let's talk about understanding. Understanding your cat's motivations can help you guide their behavior. For example, if your cat is scratching the furniture, they might be doing it to mark their territory or to stretch their muscles. By providing an alternative, like a scratching post, you can satisfy their need while also protecting your furniture. When dealing with unwanted cat behaviors, it's crucial to be patient and understanding. It's not always easy, but it's part of being a good cat parent. Remember, patience and understanding are key when communicating with our feline friends. Let's summarize what we've learned today. We started by diving into the fascinating world of cat behavior, understanding that our feline friends have their own unique language. We discovered that their actions are often their way of communicating with us, and it's up to us to interpret them correctly. Next, we explored effective ways to discourage unwanted behaviors. We learned that it's not about punishment, but rather about positively reinforcing the behaviors we want to see more of. Then we unraveled the art of distraction. We found out that sometimes the best way to prevent unwanted behaviors is by offering alternative, more appealing options. Finally, we emphasized the importance of patience and understanding. Remember, it's not about changing who your cat is, but about fostering a relationship where both you and your cat feel happy and understood. With these tips in mind, you're well on your way to communicating effectively with your cat.